Hello and welcome to Grind Slime TV with me, your host Aaron. And today we're heading out to Germany for some Tolkien-themed black metal, and it's in the form of Grabunhold or Grabunhold, as it's pronounced out there, which means grave fiend, which is the translation for barrow wight, which is a sort of ghoul type thing in Lord of the Rings from the books. And this is their demo, which is called Auf Den Hügelgräberhöhen, which is translates to on the tumulus heights, and tumulus being a mound of earth, which is usually what covers graves. So, a little bit of education there for you. How's that? Bloody hell. Got it all, didn't I? So, on with the actual demo itself. This is an absolutely fantastic little 4-tracker. Really cool stuff. Came out from Iron Bonehead, which are a fantastic label. I've got quite a few of their releases and compilation CDs that they've handed out for free over the years, which is always nice. You've got some really cool looking artwork there. Look, you've got the tree and some kind of empty grave perhaps, and you've got the castle up there. Very nice. I love that sort of old school black and white ink kind of like illustration, and there you've got the body of the king there. Oh yes, very Lord of the Ringsy. We very much like that around, yeah. And there, let's have a look at the front again. See there, you've got the old one of the barrow wights or grave fiends there doing their thing. Got the Eye of Sauron down there and up there, and all, he's all over the place. So really cool stuff where that's concerned. And I love the logo with the weapons. Got like the Morning Star and a little sword there. Really cool stuff. And on the inside, no lyrics or anything like that, but we've got the 3 lads there doing their thing. They're called what are they called? Nachtmare, which I believe is nightmare, which makes sense. That one I can't read. I think is Earweir. I don't know what that means. And then we've got Necromani, which I'm guessing is something to do with dead bodies and such, you know, the usual sort of thing. No details really on where it was recorded or anything like that, or when, but I believe this is a 2017 demo, so it's not all that old, but it's really cool raw black metal, and it's done in a sort of, it's not overly polished sort of production. It's still raw black metal, but it's not to the point where it sounds like, let's say, early Goat Moon or Mutilation or any of the Legion de Noir of France or anything like that. Like your Vlad Tepes and whatnot, you know, the ones, all that sort of stuff. And then you've got the older up there. Look, you've got the another logo variant, and it's again, it's sort of a barrow white there. Really cool. And yes, I am a bit of a nerd when it comes to Lord of the Rings. I won't lie to you. I may have to pick up the book again because just listening to this today and just sort of reading up on the lyrics, which are available on Metal Archives, it's very well done. It's not just this sort of bog standard, oh, fucking Sam and Frodo went up the hill and got themselves done over by some fucking hooded cunt. No. This is like really, it's sort of an in-depth sort of narrative told by like some of the characters in a way, or maybe a sort of backstory for certain things, like the nine swords and stuff. But it also sort of goes into the sorrow that some of those characters may be feeling at certain points. So really liked that. So it's got a sort of almost like a fantasy kind of depressive type thing going on, which is really interesting. You don't see that an awful lot. And don't get me wrong, there are plenty of black metal acts that delve into the world of Tolkien, you know, Berzon being one of them, being very famous for his work on the Tolkien sort of thing, and many other bands, like Gorgoroth as well, of course. But this one does it a little bit differently, which I like. It's a bit more poetic and a bit more, I don't know, it's sort of, it's not just on the nose. Like if you weren't in, if if you didn't know this was about Lord of the Rings and you were reading it, then I don't think you'd immediately be like, oh, well, this is clearly about Lord of the Rings. But if you're like, you know, a bit of a nerd like me, then you can sort of pick up on these things. However, I will say that it's really nice that clearly all three members have an intimate knowledge on the literary works of Tolkien. They probably love the movies too, but the Barrow-wights or grave themes weren't actually featured in the movies. They were like strictly in the book, and it's the one time Frodo and Tom Bombadil make themselves fucking useful. So yeah, got that going for them. And sound-wise, what I really liked about this is that it had that really cool sort of melodic, raw black metal sound to it, but it also doesn't hide the bass. You know, the bass is in there and it's prominent, and it is really cool. And they kind of hang around the sort of 180 to 200 kind of tempo, like BPM. So the blasts are sort of, I wouldn't strictly say half blasts. They're more like 3/4 blasts or 2/3 blasts. I know, it's ridiculous. I sound like an absolute knob, but that is the case. Now, the first 3 songs on here are absolutely fantastic. I think the second track, which is Isilduath, is my favourite track on here. But I really like the third one, which is an instrumental as such, other than the a couple of vocal parts where it just comes in with this sort of na 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 na, that sort of thing. So no lyrics there, just sort of I suppose you could call it depressive scat. Yeah, let's get onto it. Yeah, that's what we like. So really, really cool stuff here. I'm yet to check out any of their other things, but they've got a full length out. I believe they've got an EP and a split as well. So I'm going to be looking out for those, because I only acquired this recently, and I'm really glad I did. I think I just sort of came across it on eBay or something for like a £5, and I thought, oh yeah, I'll pay a £5 for it, you know, see what it's like, and I'm really glad I did. Now, this isn't available on Spotify or YouTube, but the whole thing is on their Bandcamp. So if you want to check it out, you can head straight over there and give it a listen. This is a really cool 3-piece out of Germany, really beautifully written and composed black metal that I think, whatever style of black metal you enjoy, I think this is pretty much has a pretty universal appeal within the black metal genre. And I can see these guys really, really sort of becoming a cult name, I think, particularly like in the area of Germany. Like they're going to be a big deal, I feel. So check out Grabunhold, and yeah, hope you like it as much as I did, because I'm going to be spinning this a lot more in the future, as well as their other stuff if I can find it. Now, I can't vouch for that stuff, obviously. It might be shit, but as far as this goes, I vouch for it. So if you don't like it, then blame me. So Grabunhold, Auf Den Hügelgräberhöhen. And yeah, Google that, you can. So that's it for this video. Thank you for joining me. Support the underground and stay tuned for my part 9 of 10 series of my top 50 albums. Take care.